Good evening. Welcome to the Paul Green Comedy PaulCast. It is June 11th. This is episode 195. And oh my gosh, am I cutting it close to get this episode published before midnight? It has just been a crazy day. So much going on with so many different things that I am trying to manage with the old day job and with my dreams and my passions. If this is your first time joining me, I'm a stand-up comedian and actor. And overall, I'm a big dreamer and trying to accomplish big things. So today, well, let's start with yesterday, because I had a very cool day yesterday. I was pretty beat because I was in Long Beach, California over the weekend for a gig. I had to drive pretty much all night Sunday night to get back home by Monday, and I didn't get in until about 2 in the morning, and then just had a bunch of Monday stuff to do to get done. But then Monday evening, I had a very cool experience. A group of comics who are all regulars at a comedy club in Gilbert known as JP's. We threw a surprise appreciation dinner for the club owner, who is near and dear to our hearts, and that was really cool. All the comics had an opportunity to share a little message, and I got to sort of end the evening, as it were, and got to share some thoughts. I got extremely emotional, which I did not anticipate getting that emotional. But as I was processing, like, why did that hit me so hard? It just occurred to me how rare I think it is, especially in this industry, for anybody to actually give a crap about you. And the owner of this particular club, he actually gives a crap, and he cares about his comics and about providing a space for comics to develop, and does so without really making, it's not like the club's making a ton of money, if any at all. It's a hard business to make money and to start a club from scratch, and then to provide opportunities for comics who, most of us, are not really in a position to where we are able to sell tickets. None of us are like a draw, which I do talk a lot about in this podcast. The difficulty of being a comic who isn't a draw. People don't buy tickets to see you perform. And so it was just a really cool experience to have all of these comics be able to get together, share their thoughts, share their appreciation. And I was able to share my appreciation, and I got very emotional. And again, I just really cannot emphasize how just rare it is, his club and his opportunities that he provides, and just who he is as a person. He's very compassionate and very caring, and just does a lot. And I was thinking about this over the last day or so, and just the extreme contrast to what I experienced when I was in Los Angeles. And I was in Los Angeles pursuing comedy and acting like so many dreamers do, and just had some incredibly heart-wrenching, discouraging experiences of, just betrayal and backstabbing and discardment by people who, and clubs, by the way, who on the surface, seemed to care, or at least would smile at you and make it seem like they are actually interested in you as a human being, but then would have absolutely no second thoughts about completely stabbing you in the back, or discarding you, or just removing you from their lives without even a conversation. I mean, it was, I really had some brutal experiences. I don't want to go into those in any sort of detail because it's in the past. And so much of pursuing dreams and going for what it is you really want in life, as I am learning, is really contingent upon always moving forward and, learning from the past, learning, obviously, what you can take away from those experiences, but not dwelling on them to the point to where maybe they actually prevent you from moving forward and finding the places and the people who are actually on your team and care about you as an individual and want to help you and see you be successful. And so anyway, as I was sort of given my little spiel, my little toast, I it really did. I really got very just choked up as I realized just how rare a gift it is to have just anybody in your corner, first of all, but little yet somebody who is not only in your corner but is willing to share his resources and and provide as much opportunity as he can. That obviously makes sense and is somewhat pragmatic, but really cool. It was just a cool experience. It was cool to be there with all the comedians and hear them express their appreciation as well, and just creating that community of like-minded comedians. After dinner, one of the comics in the group approached me and asked if he could talk to me, and said that he was struggling with his set and struggling with his act and was feeling like he had sort of hit a plateau. And I'm going, well, let me tell you something. I am in the exact same boat. And it meant a lot to me that he would approach me and look to me as somebody who can perhaps provide some wisdom and insight. It is kind of interesting that I'm in a similar boat, and I have a mentor who I reach out to, who currently lives in San Diego, who actually was doing that gig with in Long Beach over the weekend. And I go to him because he's 25 years into this business and knows a thing or two, and now I'm about 10 years into stand-up comedy, and then this newer comic who's I think he's about 3 years in, he said, is now coming to me. So it's kind of this kind of a Ponzi scheme, I guess. It's a Ponzi scheme of wisdom, if that even makes sense. It's a pyramid scheme. It's a pyramid scheme of wisdom. If you join right now, I will give you 25% residuals on any wisdom of anybody in your downline. All right. I don't think that was that funny of a joke. I just sort of came up with right then. So anyway, really cool night. Very grateful. He knows who he is. He does listen to the podcast, and I'm trying to on this podcast be a lot careful not dropping names, because it sort of occurred to me that although these people are in my life, and it is important for me to talk about them because they are influencing my experience, that maybe they would like a little anonymity. So I will do better at not dropping names. But if you're listening, you know who you are. So other than that, I got 2 big shows coming up. One in Gilbert coming up in a couple days, and then another one at Tempe Improv coming up in a few more days. Probably. Unfortunately, ticket sales for my show at the Tempe Improv have been very low, although they are starting to happen. And we do need to, I say we, so this is my podcast partner, Josh Novi. We started a podcast together, and that has translated into a live show where we, in essence, just record our podcast, but we do it live in front of an audience. And it's very exciting. We've only done it once, but it was a huge success. And now we've got 2 more opportunities, assuming that the second show doesn't get canceled, which there's a pretty high probability that it's going to get canceled. I haven't given up yet. We might see some miracles. Me and my buddy Josh, who do the podcast, we actually hired a advertising specialist to create our ads and manage the digital marketing of it all. And so we're going to hope that maybe he has a few more tricks up his sleeve to see if we can keep from having to cancel that second show. Other than that, everybody, the dreams are just coming along. I am just really in the weeds of so many different elements of pursuing this passion of mine of performing and getting on stage, and really trying to learn how I can create a brand that will attract an audience, and preferably do so with a positive ROI. That's that thing where you spend this amount of money, but you actually make more than it. It's like that Steve Martin quote in The Jerk. Oh, so it's a profit deal, or something like that. So I know that I am pushing this one out a little late, so I am going to cap this one a little early. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that all of your dreams are going well. You're staying in the grind, moving forward, not relishing traumatic experiences from the past too much, or at least not letting them prevent you or hinder you from moving forward and finding the people and the experiences and the opportunities that are there to support you and be a benefit in your life. And that's very important. And I'm very grateful for those individuals and these opportunities that are coming my way, and those who are supporting me and supporting my journey. So I hope that all of you out there, that you have some of those people in your life as well. And if not, I give you good energy to attract them and to find them. Because going for dreams is no easy feat. And it takes a lot, and it can be incredibly discouraging and frustrating. And so many times have I wanted to quit and just throw in the towel and just say, I do not have what it takes to make this happen. And yet there are people outside of me who encourage me and keep me in the game. So thank you to all of you who are supporting me. And thanks to all of you for listening. I love you all so much. I hope everything is going well with you, and I will talk to you tomorrow. So this is June 11th, 2024, episode 195 of my daily PaulCast, the Paul Green Comedy Podcast. I'll talk to you tomorrow.